the American flag. I pulled my first graders down for whole group instruction, and we reviewed over the U.S. symbols we've learned so far. But for today's lesson, we mainly focused on the symbol of the American flag. While in whole group, I asked my students a few questions just to jog their memory. A few questions that were asked was, what does the American flag stand for? Or have you seen this U.S. symbol before? Who made our first American flag? And who asked Betsy Ross to make this patriotic symbol? While still in whole group, we made an anchor chart about the characteristics of the American flag. The categories were split into two, and the first category was labeled what the American flag has, and our second category was what the American flag is. Some of the examples that the students have put down under the has column is that the American flag has 13 stripes. And then I would also ask them questions, what does the 13 stripes stand for? Also, there were a few other possible answers. One student said that there are 50 stars on the American flag. And I would ask them, what do the 50 stars stand for? Under the column, what the American flag is, depending on the answer, I would further ask questions. For example, if a student answers that it's a patriotic symbol, then I will ask, well, what does this symbol stand for? Getting started with our making of our American flag. I asked my helpers for the day to go ahead and help me pass out the materials that is needed to get started. In the creating of our American flag process, most students were able to create their own American flags. Some students needed help, either with cutting or actually sorting or placing down where each piece was supposed to go. In this slide, I'm showing an ESL student being engaged in the activity. While he was creating the American flag, I asked him a few questions just to check for his understanding. For an example, I asked him, did he notice the difference between the stripes on the flag we are creating and the actual American flag? And he did notice that the real American flag has 13 stripes, and the flag that we were making had 3. And I asked him, do you know why we have those 13 stripes? And of course he gave me the correct answer. And he said, I understand why we only have 3 on this flag, because we don't have enough paper to continue to make the other 10 stripes. More of the creation of our flag. Right here, here's a student that is deep in concentration putting together the last steps of his American flag. While I was walking around the classroom, helping other students with further assistance, I noticed 2 little boys standing next to each other, helping each other out. I also noticed that they were also engaged in a conversation about the American flag and its characteristics. The next step in completing our American flag, the students would have to draw their 50 stars in our blue square on our flag with the white crayon. Right here, here's a student waiting patiently, waiting for further instructions. And there you have it. Here's our finished product. For my example, I put the United States of America has a red, white, and blue flag. Thank you.